what it is that we're trying to achieve here as far as wildlife is concerned. Specifically, you have been mentioning that not a lot of these facilities are there in the country that help towards bridging this gap and solving this problem. What is the philosophy with which you set out to actually do?
So I started off as a young child. I started rescuing domesticated animals. And I thought that need of the hour was to protect wildlife, because as you know, many species are becoming extinct. Day by day, we are losing species. So this center here is animal rescue, rehabilitation, conservation, and endangered animal breeding center for endangered species and for wild animals. It's a home to wild animals who have been abused through their life in circuses, in roadside zoos, in zoos with bad conditions, in overpopulated zoos, animals who have been injured in the forest, animals who have had man and human-animal conflict. So we've animals rescued from all across, and we're also breeding endangered species. Eventually, the goal would be to release them back in the wild. And that's our main aim, and to give a dignified life to the species we have housed here, because they come from a very cruel background. So just give a dignified life. That's a goal.
So also rescuing animals like the wild cats as well as elephants, specifically from certain parts of the country and also from elsewhere in the world as well. So if you could get into the specifics of it and speak to us a little bit about, because we saw firsthand how these animals have been suffering as well. So what is it that you're also trying to do here? The numbers with which you're also actually working with.
So as you know, we have a team of more than 3,000 professionals working for us. We have rescued more than 200 elephants. We have a whole big cat sanctuary where we're rescuing big cats from all across India and the world, because we want India to be the center. As India is progressing so much, and with the current leadership interested in the forests and how much our government is doing for the forest, I thought as an Indian citizen, we should create something out of the world for wildlife. And our aim is to try and save as many species as possible from bad and from backgrounds where they're tortured, basically, to get them here.
So since I've also got you here, we also have your wedding bells very soon ringing. Has that also helped have an effect on the philanthropic side of it, or also can we see more side of you in the CSR part of it as well?
I think my mother is my biggest inspiration for philanthropy. I think she herself, I am extremely inspired by the work she does, and my father also. So I think a wedding has nothing to do with the work we're doing for the wildlife. And I'm extremely grateful to the Almighty for giving me the vision and for letting me carry out all this. I think it's all His grace. It's all Lord Krishna's grace and Sri Krishna's grace that He's given us the power to do something like this. I'm sure you must have never seen something like this in the past.
So, Dhirubhai Ambani's philosophy of innovation and also preserving of the wildlife, preserving of the earth as we know it, is also somewhere alive right now through you in this in your works as well. So, what are some of the other verticals that we can expect you to be actually working on in those philosophies in the coming future?
So, as you know, that this is completely a philanthropic and a passion project. It has, and I'm obviously heading our new energy businesses also. And today we're talking about philanthropy, so we'll keep it to the animal wildlife preserves we are creating, and rescue centers and rehabilitation centers we are creating. In this scale, as you know, in a hospital, you always have new technologies. In a hospital, you can't ever plan to not have. So every month we actually upgrade ourselves. And I think my aim is to do capacity building. So every wildlife vet in India gets the best knowledge, the best training. Every zoo in India, there are more than 150 zoos. I want them to be the best in the world. So that's our aim here. And we try to end suffering of wild animals is our aim.